I was going to do a little short video of like time lapse building this up, but I figured this would be a cool way to do both. Be able to chat with you guys for a minute, and also open up this new thing. Now, I've been on this thing since last year, obviously, until January. It's been on for a while, for at least a few months. I've been great, so like while I was out in my old shop, which was wood floor, the tent, and I didn't want to get all gross and smashed up. So here, I'm making a gross tent, or a sweater, which I have one right here somewhere, right here. Don't care about the crate. All over. It's always fun opening cool stuff, especially when you're way too old man forever. And hopefully, it's not damaged. You can with a little foam on the side because the limit surface is not always nice to stop as we find out all the time. But the thing is also designed to be a view, so it's also to help. Unless a big pinnacle piece gets smashed, I mean, I'm going to chip it, get it damaged. Hopefully not. Oh, my goodness. That was quick. On. Ready? Here we go. Brand new 132 pound animal. I've been looking forward to using this guy. It's a huge step up from my other animal, which is only a 44 pounder. Red Bull, if you're watching. A little bit of rust from sitting in the crate, but it's on the face, so that's making it work anyway. Watch it. This is a Vevor Anvil, 132 pounder, 5 days Anvil. I've been waiting for this thing for a long time. Waiting to use it. Way more than I do. Man, really nice. Got a 1 inch hard hole and a 1 inch pitching hole. Um, Much better. I don't have that other animal out right now, but I'll do a comparison photo and a little video talking about them. Seeing how we have it here, let's check it out. I've got a metal bearing, a 52 another inch on this flat surface here. So the surface of your anvil is nice and clean, will have a better rebound because it has better transference of the energy through the material. And the rust leaves like the rust layer has little pockets and gaps inside the rust, so it can't transfer through. So what it does is absorb some of that shock because it reflects in those gaps inside that space. That's got a nice tall rebound. You see sound difference too on the nice smooth face versus the rusty, but it's got a really decent rebound. You check the horn too, but with the horn, because it's smoking, I don't know, flying off crazy. So I don't really check here, but just because you can't hit consistently, it's just not kind of nice even surface. But it's got a nice hardy hole here. I'll bring the camera over so you can really take a look at it. I got a friction hole on this side right here, and when I do my layout, I'm going to put it on some I got some solid nickel box that I had in my channel on Instagram. But looking at it now, I might have to make a bigger one because I think my base is as big as that. Yeah, 10 1/4 by 7 1/4, and it'll just overhang. So I just build. I'm gonna build out the top a little bit, brace that out, but that should be decent. But I've been looking forward to this guy for a long time. The bigger the anvil, the more efficient your work's going to be because you have that much more force that can be reapplied to the base as you strike the material. So a smaller anvil is going to have less energy coming back up to it, whereas a bigger anvil is going to have more mass to help get that energy back up to your piece. So think of it as a hammer when you strike the top, that amount of force is applied on the bottom, which is why you get 100% rebound. It's like two hammer strikes at the exact same time. Where if you have 70%, it's like a bigger hammer and a little bit smaller hammer create the same time. So the bigger the hammer, the more efficient your work's going to be. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to make a bigger anvil stand. I'm gonna try it. I just got some maple. I have a sawmill at my shop. For two stuff, and I have a surplus of firewood, so I'm blessed with that. So I think I'm gonna get a bigger log and cut it down. We'll see how this one goes. At the very least, I can use one of these blocks for my smaller anvil for my shuttle hammer. So I have a shell hammer from Christ Center Ironworks that hooks up to a wall. Now that I have actual wall and studs, I will be hooking up to that and I'm going to need a better base. Because the one I made is a whole in-house cradle system, so it's completely independent. It's not as efficient because it's all 2x4 framing, so it's not quite heavy duty as it could be. But it's also the nice one, nice benefit to the trail hammer system I got through Christ Center Ironworks. It's also aerospace. It's not even a foot pedal. I can just use my toe, and the air compressor runs the piston to help drop the hammer down. Or I can still use my foot power. If I need something with bigger power, I can really push down on it and use that spring to really deliver the weight if I need to. And with the air assist, it's nice if you're doing top fueling and want to do gentle work. You can adjust your PSI so it touches lightly, or you can hit hard. And it works really well for that. I'm really excited to actually get on the wall and a sturdy spot where they intended to make it that way. But yeah, I'm super pumped this came in. This guy's base, the work base, is 5.5 by 18, and my horn is 8.5 inches long. I bought about 5.5, 5 1/4 wide. Want to look? There it is. There we go. Here's the anvil. Got, I'm going to try to look. Oh, I did that right. I'm spinning around. So it's got the 1 inch harding hole here for the top of the wood. It's got a crystal hole. This piece of it will hold fast, so it'll be an extra set of hands to hold the material, hold the workpiece on the surface. You got a free hand. And then this is for other actually, oh, apparently my mic is working. I think I know this is that. Oh, my whole audio isn't garbage. I was hooked up to my speaker. Trying to turn this damn speaker off. I think that's on. Let me check. Very professional, you know, settings here. You think I would have my shit together, but I obviously don't.
There. Yeah, iPhone did a huge update. Now I can't freaking figure half this stuff out. So I hope that figured the mic issue. And yeah, the wood stuff behind me, I built all that. I bought a wire shelf. And this wire worked good for big stuff, but when you want to put paint cans and other stuff on top of it, it wants to floppy. So I just simply cut it down with my angle grinder and made a wire rack to hold my hammers, my tongs. I still got some organizing to do because this is still a really new build on the shop. I'm not done yet. But yes, I did build all the stuff behind you. Hey, thanks for subscribing. There. Well, I hope that solved the mic issue. But yeah, I'm going to do a comparison video once I get squared away in here between anvil sizes and stuff like that. But the best way I thought to kind of show this off a little bit was just to do it live. Yeah, so I do need to get some bigger hardy tools. I'll probably just order some through a blacksmith supply company, just to have a hot cut and probably a bending jig just so I can get started. And I'll probably end up making my own. As blacksmiths and bladesmiths, we're resourceful and we kind of make our tools as we need them for whatever project we've got working on. So today's project is I'm going to be making my anvil stands, which I will be showing you. So these are the maple chunks I cut. They're 3 foot, 10 by 10. They're not quite 10 by 10 because I wasn't really too precise when I was making this, when I was sawing them. But that's the one I had planned for this guy, and it is the base here is still a little wide. It's a little wider than this guy. I originally was going to go 12 by 12, which would have been perfect. But the problem was the current log I had picked out had a big sweep in it, so I wasn't quite able to get my 12 by 12. So I'm going to sniff around the shop and see if I can find some oak or some more maple and make a bigger anvil stand. But I'm going to have to shrink it down. I need to know the height of this guy because when you set your anvil up, you want your hands rested on your side and you want it knuckle height to the surface. That way you don't have to bend over or you're not bending backwards trying to work on your equipment. So it's going to be safer and more efficient to have it that way. But so I think that guy's a whisker narrow, but I'm going to try and build out the top, and I think that'll work. I'm just going to wrap it in some 2x6 all the way around and hook it to it, and then hook this guy to that, and then I got to flare out the base and make it a little wider. When I shorten it for height, that's really going to help with the tipping. So I think we'll be good to go. But figured I'd show you guys something cool. I'm currently working on my new shop, so it's a little disorganized, but I got my forge in here finally. That was my current table. It was a recycled table from an automatic saw blade sharpener that when I used to own a sharpening service before we decided it wasn't really beneficial to keep going, just because like you charge like $7 a knife. It takes a lot of knives to feed your family. So we ended up just going full time in the tree service. But I ended up getting this table, and that was a good spot for my forge to get started. So once I get set up, I'm going to take measurements of my forge and I'm going to weld a new forge stand for it. I have another grinder base outside. It's like a little tower, like that guy right there. But it's like that guy, but it's a little fatter, a little stockier. I don't know if it's the right height, but the top's a little narrow. so I won't be able to set this on top without making a top. So I might as well just get some angle iron and weld one up, and because that forge is really light. But that would also increase my floor space, my shop significantly. If I shrink that down, it'll save me like an extra 2 feet all the way around it. So, and I'm limited on space because this is just a little 14 by 14 shop. It's still significantly bigger than my old shop, which was a tent. I have a video on that in the last live stream. And for my heat right now, I just got my quench oil warmer, and I just kick that guy on, bring the temperature back up. We started at 40 degrees and it's already 53 in here, which is much better. But yeah, and the downside to having an anvil, this is a major heat sink. It's because it's cast iron, solid metal. It's really cold. Like, this is cold, just put my hand on it. It's like putting your hand on ice, and you don't want to just leave your hand on it because it's cold. So what I like to do while my forge is warming up, I put a fire brick right in front of the face so it really soaks up the heat. Then I take a pair of tongs and I move it to my anvil face and try and warm that face up a little bit. And as you work, it's going to draw heat from your material. I've heard of a lot of people taking like a hand torch and just lightly warming it up. I found the fire bricks work the best because it's not going to overheat your anvil and ruin the temper, because this is a hardened face on this guy to help keep it from damage. And it's harder than the steel you're working on, so this doesn't move, but the material that you're hitting moves more, which is, you don't want to, you don't want your anvil face being distorted, because you won't have a nice finish on your material, and you could have weird wrinkles in it or dips or holes. So yeah, currently working on figuring out a home for this guy. It's going to sit basically right where we're standing right now. So yeah, a lot of fun, making some progress finally. I reinforced my floor this morning. I set my floor joists 16 on center, and I blocked underneath them. It won't be quite as nice as having the anvil stand directly on the ground, so it could bounce still just a little bit, which is why I reinforced it with some pressure treated cribbing underneath to help absorb some of that shock. But as the weight isn't the issue, it's the vibration going through, because I don't need stuff falling off my walls while I'm hammering. But the anvil stand will also make a massive difference, because this table, no shock absorption at all, and it doesn't transfer any of the energy back up, because it can easily be dispersed and it just goes into the rest of the building. So we're going to try making this anvil stand work. If I can't get it to work, then I'll have to mill one out this week when I get back to the shop for our tree work, and then we'll go from there. But I want to thank you guys for joining me. Like, subscribe. If there's anything you want to know about blacksmithing or bladesmithing, hit me up. Leave it in the comments below, or send me a message. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about this kind of stuff. Share my knowledge as best as I can. I'm still pretty new to this. I guess I've been about 2 years now, but it's been really intermittent because I also have a full-time job doing other stuff. Plus, I got dad duties and husband duties, and oh my goodness, got so much stuff just taking up all my time. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and again, if you have any questions or you want to just chat about stuff, blacksmithing and bladesmithing, metalwork, woodwork, hit me up. I'm always around. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope you can get out to your shops and hit some steel or make some cool furniture or whatever you like doing. I hope you can get some time to do that and keep your peace. But as always, keep the forges lit and the anvil singing. Thank you guys. Take care.